So here's the thing, now that you've decided to get out here on YouTube, you've overcome your fears and excuses, you've got lots of things that you think you might want to talk about, but you're not an expert at any of them. So how do you decide? That was one of the biggest things that I had to figure out. So stick around, let's talk about it. Hey there guys, welcome to Debbie J TV. I am Debbie, and if you're looking for a way to start and grow a business using YouTube and other social media and do it without letting life and circumstances get in your way, you've definitely come to the right place. So be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell icon next to it. That way you'll be notified when I put out new videos. Now, here's the thing. I know there's a lot of things that you want to talk about. I don't think I have talked to very many people at all, or even seen very many people on YouTube who said that when they got started, they just had one topic that they wanted to talk about and no other. Most of us aren't like that. We have a lot of different interests, but here's the challenge. When you come out to YouTube to get started, nowadays, the way the algorithm works, if you want to be found and be able to grow your channel, you've got to find a way to pick a niche. Now, that doesn't mean you have to talk about one single thing every single day, day in and day out, but here's the deal. People have to know what you're about. People have to know what to expect when you're coming out to the channel. And you want people to be able to find you. And YouTube is a search engine. So someone who is looking for cooking isn't necessarily going to be looking for football scores, okay? And someone who subscribes to you because you talk about the latest and greatest in sports isn't going to want to come watch you cook in your kitchen. So that's the importance of finding a niche. Now, doesn't mean that you can't talk about more than one thing. Maybe you like cooking and travel, so you can do a travel cooking show. So once I knew that I had to find a niche, trying to pick one, trying to land on one thing to talk about, that became an issue for me because one, I didn't want to pick the wrong niche. You know, I didn't want to get out here and pick something that one, nobody was looking for, or two, that nobody cared about, or you know, another fear of mine and a big thing for me is I didn't want to get bored. I get bored very easy. And that's why I never did a niche type blog. And then once I made my list of things that I was interested in enough to talk about regularly, or that I liked to talk about in general anyway, then the question became, what am I an expert at? And the answer for me is absolutely nothing. My mother had told me my entire life that I am a jack of all trades, master of none. And literally I am, because I've always gotten bored so quickly. So even with jobs, I never stayed in the same job for very long. I was a computer programmer for 7 years. I hated it. There's really never been anything in my life that I have become what people would consider an expert at. I can go find the information. I mean, if I was going to say that I was an expert at anything, it would be at finding information. I can Google like no one else. If you got a topic that you don't know an answer to, I can go find it. But how do you discuss research and not be bored to death? Because that would bore me. The reason I'm not bored doing the research is because it's always on different topics. So how do you decide? First of all, make a list of topics that you talk about regularly anyway, then put them in the order of things that you are most interested in. Then take a look at the list and figure out what are the topics that you think or feel that you can talk about regularly on a daily basis, because this is something that you're going to be talking about here on YouTube or on Instagram or on Twitter or whatever social media you choose. This is the thing that you're going to be talking about and sharing with people on a regular basis. So you're going to decide on the top 3 things that you can talk about daily. After that, take a look and decide if there are more than 3, is there a way that you can combine them together? For example, like I said earlier, the whole travel and food. Can you eat while you travel and talk about the different restaurants that you go to? Can you talk about fishing and makeup? Okay, I don't know how to work that one into a combined topic, so I wouldn't put those 2 together. Those are going to have to be separate. So once you've decided on your 3 topics that interest you most, we're going to go and do some research. Now you can go and do searches on Google, Instagram, YouTube. Go and search all the major search engines to see how many people are looking for that topic specifically, and look at it from more than one direction, not just food. Okay, look for a specific type of food, but go and see, is there an interest in it? Is there a market for it? Are there people looking for it? So once you've narrowed down the niche that you want to talk about, let's go get more specific. Narrow it down even further. So for example, if you want to talk about food, what kind of food? How is it going to be cooked? Is it raw? Is it vegan? Are there certain diets that follow along to that food? Who specifically do you want to talk to and get that information out to? If you want to do fashion, okay, that's fine. Figure out, who are you talking to? What age group? What sex? Is it men's fashion, women's fashion, kids' fashion? Is it younger crowd, older crowd? Do you want to do dressy? Do you want to do casual? Those are the kind of things that you want to narrow it down to, and then you can go check the searches on that specific niche. Now, before we go further and I get into the part of, hey, this is great, I've picked out a niche, I've decided who I'm talking to, but I'm not an expert at it, so how do I have the right to talk about it? If you've got topics that you've put together and you're still undecided on which one to choose, feel free to drop those in the comments below, and let's see if I can help you out. See if my community can help you find a way to combine those interests into maybe something that will work together. And hey guys, if you're getting any value out of this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button down below the video and put a like out there for me. So like I said, now that you've narrowed down your interest in your niche, what happens if you're not an expert on the topic that you want to talk about? Listen, just because you're not an expert at something doesn't mean that you can't talk about it. Chances are, if you had it in your top interest list, it's something that you know about. It's something that you like, something that you enjoy, something that you talk to your friends or family about, which means you already know more than a lot of people out there who might be looking into getting into your niche, but they don't know anything about it. You don't have to know everything. You've got to be willing to learn. You've got to be willing to ask questions. You've got to be willing to go out and do the research. And all that stuff will allow you to get out here and create videos or create Instagram posts where you can teach people who don't know as much as you do yet what you've learned from people who know more than you. And you just keep working your way up. And you know, I hear people talk about this, what is it called? Impostor syndrome that people talk about on YouTube, because you get out here and you want to discuss topics that you are not an expert at. Guys, you just got to be willing to admit you're not an expert at it. I am not an expert at YouTube. I'm learning, and I am teaching what I learn as I go, so that people who get started later, who don't know what I know yet, they can learn from me just the same as I'm learning from other people out here on YouTube who have come before me. That's the thing. People love to see you on your journey. They want to see what you have to go through because they want to know that you're human and that you're going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. That's the whole point of being human. And if you're worried that you're going to get out here and fail, fall down, screw up, trust me, you're going to get out here and fail and fall down and screw up. The question is, are you going to pick yourself up and keep going, or are you just going to go, you know what, never mind, this was a good idea, but screw it. Don't do that. I promise you that even when you fail, and the faster you fail, the faster you're going to succeed. But even if you fail, you're going to learn from that failure unless you choose not to. I go back and look at every single video that I've done so that I can learn to do the next one better. The first several ones that I was doing, I kept not looking at the lens, so it looked like I was talking to somebody over there and just ignoring you guys, and you guys are the ones I want to talk to. You guys come out here and watch my videos, and I so appreciate it because you're going through my learning curve. You are watching me do this as we go. So it doesn't matter if you're an expert. You don't have to be. Be willing to get out here and learn and fail and learn from your failures, and just keep doing it. I promise you, it gets better. Even this last video that I just posted yesterday from the first video that I did, it is so much better even to me. And yet, even in the video that I posted yesterday, I can still see so much room for improvement. So don't even worry about it. Just figure out what you want to talk about, niche it down, and then get out here and do it. All right. So guys, definitely, if you're still struggling and you've got other reasons that are keeping you from getting out here, check out my other videos. I've got more in this series that you can watch about people laughing at you or feeling like you might be too ugly or too old, or several different reasons that are in the series. Do me a favor, check them out if you need to. And definitely, if you want to see more content out here, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell icon next to it. That way you get notified of when I put out videos. And we're going to start on some additional information. I look forward to talking to you guys out here. Remember, life is short. Go make it happen. See ya.